All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the HTC Ascension Challenger Invitational Tournament. My name is Seth Achilles King. With me is Bert Bird De Gea, and we are coming back. TLA versus DZG Fire, currently 1-1, all tied up, going to game 3. TLA going to look to try to take away this series. So far, you know, they haven't really had too much opposition in these games. This could be the first time that they're actually getting challenged by a team.
Definitely a big challenge for TLA. They saw some weaknesses in game number 1, even though they won out quite convincingly. Game number 2, DZG really turned around that whole weakness and really found out where they could win. In game number 3, we'll see how that will go, as picks and bans are already almost done.
Yeah, so we already actually have picks and bans ready to go, and we can see the team compositions coming out here from both sides. Tom Kench, Kindred, Fizz being banned away by Team Liquid Academy, showing a lot of respect to Cobra, taking away the fish from him. And of course, they take away their own fish, which just didn't pay off too well for them. Liquid Matt on that Tom Kench. Gangplank, Fiora, Draven, banned away by DZG Fire, keeping it pretty consistent there. They don't want to give that GP over to Zig, and of course they don't want to give that Draven over to Fabi because he just steamrolled them through in that first match. But going back to some comfortable picks, we saw Zig play this Darius to pretty strong effect in that first game. We saw the Gragas coming out as well from Dardoch in the first match, led to a very easy first blood there. Young Bin played the Victor in the last match, didn't get the victory, obviously, but just, you know, got that triple kill, almost turned the game around for TLA. So really strong. And of course, Fabi now getting the Kalista, a champion of his choice, coupled with the Thresh. We saw this duo working wonders for DZG in that last game.
Yeah, and we're going to see that coming back there. Young Ben with that Victor wanted to go back to that point. He was at one point 100 CS over Cobra's Fizz. Cobra's Fizz was still split pushing as well. Young Ben, albeit he was behind, really stepped up when it mattered. Can he step up with his Victor again and just obliterate the line? Maybe that's going to be the way that they can come in. On the other hand, DZG, they're going to be picking up the Gnar, Elise, Lulu, Jinx, and the Morgana. Really going to see the interesting bot lane mechanics. I wouldn't be surprised to see another lane swap, but both teams really probably are going to go aggressive in this early game. So I want to see the Fabi aggression. I want to see Pose kind of put that one up, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lane swap, especially with Jinx in the early game. Not the strongest of AD carries.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. But you know, the person that I have to really watch out for on the DZG Fire lineup this time around is definitely got to be this Elise. You know, Doom Trobo just the last 2 games has been playing so well and so consistently on this, and has been wildly impactful, especially in that second match where he really helped get his team ahead and net themselves that win over TLA. So definitely have to keep my eyes on him. Cobra, it's going to be interesting seeing him play this Lulu. He's been playing very aggressive mid so far. They casted him to start with, then into the Fizz, which just went off on a complete tear. If you guys didn't see that last game, I highly implore that you check out the VODs at the end of the day, because he was 12-2 and like 8 or 9 or something at the end of that matchup. It was a really strong performance by him, and he was just able to run away with that lane. So now on this Lulu, you know, you innately have to play a bit more of a utility role with the Lulu, because you have that wild growth, which is not necessarily an aggressive ultimate. So this is going to be a little bit different for him, I feel, seeing him play on this champion. So I want to see how he handles this, because you can certainly harass early on, but he should be pretty well matched with the harass that Young Bin will be able to output on this Victor. Yeah,
we'll see how the harass/early game is going to be working out. It's going to be important for Cobra to try to push some aggression, because Young Bin, even in last game, just out-CS'd, out-farmed, got to the same item level without the kills. So Young Bin definitely has advantage. On the other hand, Cobra really needs to push it up.
For sure. And now we can see here on the Rift, looks like we will have a little bit of an invasive player on this top side of the map. This is going to be Zig moving forward. Max Trovo throwing up that Bangkok Titans flare. A couple of these guys responding with flares of their own, but full 5-man push into this top side. Going to get out a lot of vision control, looking for that 2v1 like you said, we might see coming out. So once these guys get the vision control down, we'll have to see if they're able to play the prediction game and end up in these favorable matchups. This will be very interesting to see on these backs. We can see Max has backed up, not yet leaving the fountain. Doesn't quite know where he's going, but looks like he is going to go ahead and start roaming down toward this bot side of the map, so we could see Jose and Vulcan rotate up to the top. Or he could just be going for the double jungle. This is really interesting movement coming across from these guys. Looks maybe even a little bit indecisive.
Yeah, Fire really didn't know where they were going with this, and now they show up in the mid lane. Vulcan and Jose probably going to go to the bot lane, and Thresh and Fabian and Kind going to go to that area as well. But we do see the swap, and they switch up as well. The swap for the swap. The mind games are activated, and Liquid should be okay with this one at least.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty comfortable as well with this swap coming out. Just going to have to play, carefully, stay behind minions, avoid the dark bindings. That's going to be the biggest catalyst for success for Vulcan, like that one right there as Matt gets caught in the brush. But if they are able to chain dark binding into flame chompers, it's going to be really rough for Fabi and Matt in this top side of the map. Of course, the Black Shield is also there to offer a lot of safety here for Jose. The Death Sentence will not be able to, grab him in. It's just going to connect. And you can see Matt already taking a lot of damage in this top side of the map as he's just trying to posture forward, but he cannot match the harass that is there from Vulcan and Jose.
Can't match harass, so it's going to be able to just push up even more. Pose.
Oh, there's the Death Sentence. The Dark Binding comes through. That's not going to connect. The Flay goes out. The Ignite as well. And with that empowered auto attack, that is going to be first blood going over to Fabi. Good first step here for Team Liquid Academy, trying to make some waves in this game.
And it really was important for Fire not to show their bot lane because they wanted to swap, and now they just get paid for their transgressions. Good job by Matt getting that Ignite. They don't have the heal coming out from Pose. Just really, really solid first blood coming out from Liquid.
Yeah, and getting that flash down on Pose again is just going to make it all the more easy for them to capitalize on this otherwise very immobile Jinx. Jinx is most mobile when she gets a turret kill or a kill. And if that's the circumstance that she's in, then she probably doesn't need to be so mobile that she needs to run away. So going to be really rough for Pose coming back into this lane, especially with Dardoch on the enemy team. We know that he knows how to capitalize, on the lack of summoner spells in the lane. So you can see him trying to pay a little bit of visit into that mid lane just now. Not able to find it though. So we'll go ahead and pull the flash, however, from Cobra. So you can be damn sure that he is going to make a repeat visit to this mid lane.
Yeah, point out the flash. Dardoch in the early game for all games has been trying to make some good plays. Game number 1, he made so many good plays that it was already a snop. Game number 3, he hasn't really started it up, but it could be a thing. On the other hand, Matt, with the extra kill onto Fabi, could go for some rotations, could go for some roams, and that could be very worrisome for Cobra as well.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And I wouldn't be too surprised, like you said, if Matt does do that. I think he might wait for mobility boosts before he starts roaming, because then he can also pick up a couple extra wards and then get some deep vision placement. We can see, though, Max Trouble has to hop and flash to victory. Grab goes onto Vulcan as the Black Shield got thrown onto Pose instead. But Matt takes a little bit of damage there, and not too much is traded back in favor of TLA. Overall, that's a pretty strong exchange here for DZG, but the binding misses, and Fabi is just posturing forward, just throwing out these auto attacks, and there's going to be the rend. Knocks that Jinx down to half HP. That's the trade that we were expecting to see.
Yeah, Fabi outplayed that one right there. He was more aggressive, and we saw Vulcan try to predict that he was going to go back, but Fabi just doing so much good damage. He is an aggressive AD carry for a reason. He keeps it up with that Callista. We'll see what TLA wants to keep on doing with this, but aggression has been a statement throughout all the games we've seen from TLA.
Yeah,
we'll see if they can keep it up.
Dardoch, nice. Juke will evade that cocoon. Would have been a nice follow-up from Cobra, more than likely. And you can see he's almost taunting Doom Trouble, saying, come a little bit closer, watch what happens. But he will go ahead and finally start this recall. Up 5 CS over top of this Elise, so going to do quite nicely for him. Young Bin gets his back stopped by that help picks into the Glitter Lance. Meanwhile, this bot side of the map, we can see Zig yet again not struggling too much against this Gnar, which is supposed to be the, he's supposed to have the favorable lane there, and he's still maintaining a CS lead underneath of his own turret. This is really good stuff from Zig's Darius. top side of the map, you see a little bit of trade coming out there as Vulcan gets that Ren. We'll just do a slight little tick of damage, but Fabi starting to stretch, probably the biggest CS lead that we're seeing in the game right now, 44-33.
He's doing pretty good against his Jinx. Again, Jinx did get first blooded, so Pose going to have to play a little bit more passively. That's an unfortunate thing. But on the other hand, you're talking about this top lane matchup. Zig, I guess, has perfected the Darius. Well, we'll play a little bit behind, play cautiously, and still farm out evenly. Max Trebo really hasn't taken advantage of this top lane matchup. And unfortunately, this might cost him in the mid game, especially with Darius's damage. Just so good once he gets those executes and those resets.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Fortunately, there is a good amount of CC and slows coming out from the side of DZG, so they should be able to keep that Juggernaut at bay. You have the Zap for the slow, the Dark Binding. You have the Black Shield that can mitigate the Apprehend, the slows from the Glitter Lance, the Cocoon, as well as the Boomerang from Gnar, and then the Mega Gnar stun. So there's a lot to keep Zig away from Pose and away from Cobra. But if he's able to get a good teleport flank, perhaps with Home Guards, like we've seen him do before, that could be absolutely devastating to the ranks of DZG, especially with, the biggest change, in my opinion, to Darius when he got patched, which is that there's no mana cost on that ultimate when it's used at 5 stacks. It's an absolute insane reset. It harkens back to the original Darius, which, for good reason, got nerfed. So he's kind of back up on that high horse. They have tuned him up a little bit. The slow off of his Apprehend is not nearly as severe. It used to be 90%, I believe. Now it's 40%. The Decimate width has been shrunk. So there have been some good tunings for Darius, but I think that he is still a very, very strong champion, just a little bit tougher to get rolling on.
It really depends if you know the champion as well as you do. Decimate has that, lower width, so you have to play it kind of within the realm of possibility of, can I get this kill? Can I actually get this reset really, really fast?
Yeah,
that's what Zig has really professionalized right now.
Can you get that heal? Is sometimes one of the more important ones. How many people can I hit with this now that it's a shorter range or shorter width? Like, can you get that percentage HP heal off of multiple targets, or can you only get it off of the one? So that's going to be a really big one. And so far, like we said, in that first game, Zig did show that he knows this character quite well and can play it to form. So you can see still being shoved up underneath of his tower. Max doing what he can to keep him at bay. You can see the double Ruby Crystal longsword coming out. So going to be looking to get that Black Cleaver out as quickly as possible, delaying the Phage for that extra little bit of tankiness that one will go into the Kindle Gem once he has enough money for that next back. Meanwhile, though, we can see this stretch is just growing in this 80 carry matchup, 69 CS to 59. So Fabi still maintaining that lead, but the mid lane 90 to 78. Now Dardoch with the roam down to the bot side of the map doesn't know that Doom Trobo's here now. That's going to be the Mega Gnar going in. Zig gets stunned into the wall. He is going to go down. Question is, who gets this kill? It's going to be Doom Trobo as the heal does not go through onto the Darius. Looks like Dardoch will be safe to back off. Youngbin trying to posh up onto Cobra. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the gravity field comes out. Wild Growth pops just a little bit before that, though. And been throwing out these death rays as frequently as possible, but will not be able to get through this very tanky HP bar of this Lulu. Now Dardoch being dove on. Doom Trobo taking this one up. Good flash body slam. Dardoch locks him down, finds the kill. Can he get the double? The boomerang goes out. It misses. The flash forward by Max. He will get the kill. It looks like he will get out with his life. We'll see if this teleport can find a kill or if he's going to be able to hop his way to safety. It looks like Zig will not be able to catch up to the Gnar, especially with these slows coming out. A near double kill for Dardoch. That was almost so good. Max looks like he will be able to get into the base in time. He goes down. That's going to be the execute. Well played by him. But overall, I'd say well played by Dardoch. That was a fantastic flash body slam.
He made sure that Doom Turbo couldn't actually come out for the repel and just knocked him down off on that one. So very, very nice play coming out from that tower dive. Off of Dardoch. On the other hand, Max Turbo going to be able to get the suicide, but we still saw Youngmin get that EXP advantage. So he's already up in CS. He's now up in EXP. He's quite happy with himself. 104 to 87 on that CS score.
Yeah, even though Dardoch lost, died in that exchange, I wouldn't be too surprised if that play makes it into the top 5 AlphaDraft plays for the HTC Ascension tournament next week, because that was pretty damn good. And I'd say that almost harkens back to the if you don't, I'm gonna hold that thought actually, because Doom Turbo getting burned out in that mid lane. The Chaos Storm not going to be able to find the kill. Youngbin also out of mana, so he will have to back off. Good aggression being shown, though, by Young on this Victor, which so far it's been pretty much a farm fest for him, still stretching that lead. But I was going to say that flash body slam down there really harkened back to the flash body slam play that I Will Dominate made at Madison Square Garden, where he predicted the Ash Flash. But Fate's Call here, and the box goes down from Matt Flay. Will pull out that flash from Pose, and now they're trying to turn this one around, but it's going to be Dardoch coming in. The explosive cast goes out. Vulcan gets locked into the wall, and he will go down. Fabby finds this one, but the Death Sentence connects. The Flay goes through, and Pose is going to fall as well. Double kill going over to Fabby. TLA making moves in the top side of the map. Zig still pinned underneath this tower, but he looks like he's going to do just fine.
Our featured player, Dardoch, is doing so well. He made sure he could capitalize right after the Black Shield timed out from Vulcan. Right click. We're just going to go right on. And Dardoch just literally deleted that. On top of that, what a nice death sentence coming out from Matt. Just going to lock it right in. Double kill for Fabby. 3-0-0 on that one. The cluster is getting bigger. The team is getting bigger. TLA, albeit with these minor differences, 3K up ahead.
Yeah, and this is a little bit closer to what we saw from them in the first game. Not nearly as severe, but still, a fairly significant gold lead given the amount of time that has transpired in this game. 12.5 minutes, 4-2, and now up that 2.5K gold lead. Dragon has not become a point of contention. This will actually be the latest Dragon in this series so far, I do believe. I think we had a 12-minute one, and then we had around a 10-minute. Yeah, it was a much earlier one in the second game. So this is going to be the latest Dragon. So maybe we won't see too much importance on Dragon this time around. Maybe a little bit more on Baron early. We'll have to see. Matt, good juke away from that boomerang. Wouldn't have been too much danger had it hit, but dodges that one all the same, showing out his good micro play there. And now it looks like as I make the caster curse real, the Dragon will be prioritized by Team Liquid Academy. They go over onto this one. With that Rend, of course, you're not going to be able to steal that one away with the Jinx Rocket. First Dragon of the game, going over to TLA, 13.5 minutes in.
It's going to be traded out, though. The top lane could be pressed upon, but they're going to be able to cover that one for now. Good bind coming out from Vulcan, though.
Yeah, good run by him. That's going to be the body slam onto Cobra. Slows him out, pops him back. Chaos Storm goes through. The Wild Growth comes in, but the extra HP is almost non-existent, and now you can see Doom Trouble in a bad spot has to flash. Body slams there to lock him in. That empowered auto attack will finish him off. Youngbin picking up that kill, his first of the game. Suddenly, 6-2 in favor of TLA, and they're just going to work down this tower as they wait for the wave to crash in.
Going to be able to take out this tier 1 turret as well. Mid-tier turret down, bottom-tier turret, all the tier 1s down. Really good stuff from TLA, taking these small little advantages and now just skyrocketing them. Can they kind of capitalize on this game and finish it up early? That's going to be the question, actually, because in game number 1, it kind of got lackadaisical, kind of got overconfident. We'll see if that's going to bite them back in game number 3.
Yeah, so far it's looking like they are playing very well and adapting very well, which is something that a few teams suffer from. We saw in a feature last week from Low Pally of Top Dog saying that there was times where the team was on and everything was going great, but there's also a lot of inconsistency. TLA showing that inconsistency up front, but correcting it throughout the series. So looking very good right now. And we can see the power spike getting ready to come in here for Fabby. Blade of the Ruin King completed. Already has the Berserker's Greaves as well as 3 daggers. He's going to be firing off these spears and just stacking up those Rend stacks like a madman. Yeah,
Ruin's Hurricane about 1,500 away, so they're going to be pretty close into getting Fabby into that power spike where he is pretty much already set to fight. So this is going to be very dangerous for DZG. This is harkening back to game number 1, where they're going to have to play a little more cautiously, try to ward out their own jungles, and really play from just some passive picks.
Zig gets caught up by that dark binding, but Doom Trobo that has to be worried. The Fate's Call goes out, the Flay comes through. He's got nowhere to go to. The blue buff was taken away by them, and Fabby will take away his life with the Rend. Ooh, explosive cask whiff here by Dardoch, but the Drunken Rage still doing a lot of damage to Vulcan, who has the flash almost available. There it is, comes up in time. He will make it over the wall and get himself to safety. Cobra, though, getting hit by that death sentence. The box goes down. Wild Growth as well, but a perfect dark passage set up for Fabby. They take him down. Zig coming in a little too late to get that assist, but I think he'll be happy for his team all the same. And this is just TLA looking to run away with this third match.
They're going to be able to get this tier 2 turret as well. Great job by TLA, just picking advantages in this jungle. taking wherever they can. And Matt's going to get another hook, but not going to be enough. Really good stuff just coming out from TLA yet again.
Yeah, the hooks are throwing, straight and true and connecting, but that Black Shield is fortunately there for the side of DZG. Most fortunately for Pose, who is being kept quite alive by Vulcan and delaying that aggression. We can see, though, it's going to be the teleport burned out into the bottom side of the map as Cobra uses that one. And this is going to be a death brush tactic coming out for TLA. Not sure how long they're going to be willing to stick around, but Cobra is roaming down. He has no vision whatsoever. Here comes Matt. Throws down the Dark Passage. Won't even be necessary. The Flake comes out. The Chaos Storm as well. And the Ren for the kill. Fabi is just on an onslaught right now. 6-0 on this Kalista and still up in CS as well. This is almost certainly going to be that bot tier 2 going down.
A dagger Fabi. He's going to keep it going with this pressure. You're going to be able to get so many more kills. They're just feeding right into this carry. On the other hand, Matt's going to get caught off on the side.
Doom Trover's trying to go in here. It takes a lot of damage onto Matt, who goes over the wall. Ooh, that rocket does not connect. Matt will fall, however, the execute damage from the Elise doing work. But here comes Zig. That's going to be Pose having to flash over the wall. Double flash to follow him. The explosive cask for the kill. Dardoch picking off the Jinx. And Team Liquid Academy are looking stronger than they ever have in this series. Doom Trovo barely getting out with his life. Will recall, and it looks like this tier 2 tower in the mid lane will finally go down. Just one tier 2 standing, and Fabi, he's not done yet. Goes in onto Cobra, who has to pop the wild growth to keep himself alive. Turret will go down, and Max Strobel, he has the Mega Gnar available. Let's see if he can make a play. Gets 2 members into the wall. Is the follow-up there, binding onto Zig. Looks like he could go down, but Cobra, he just gets popped by Youngbin over the wall with a death ray, and Youngbin looks like he might not be done yet. The cocoon does not land. That's going to be the double kill as he works him down. His scepter doing that extra damage, going through and just burning him out with the death ray, living up to its name. Youngbin now 3-0-3. Dragon spawning in a minute. Looks like Team Liquid Academy just going to go ahead, back off, and spend some hard-earned gold.
TLA just pushing every button. Even though they're confident, they're all grouped up as a team. In game number 1, we saw them be confident just separately. And this time, as a team, they've just been demonstrating winning every fight. They've been picking off whenever they can. And even burning out so many summoner spells. Cobra, I mean, this Lulu pick hasn't really worked out for him, and we'll see if that actually will work out for Vulcan. Yeah, he'll be able to get away. But yeah, the Lulu pick hasn't really worked out. This Jinx pick, which is Pose's best champion in solo queue, has not worked out as well. 0-3-1, 0-4-0, respectively.
Yeah, and it's not worked out in either game that he's played it. He actually looked the strongest on the Kalista in game 2. But Fabi, taking that one away in the first pick, just keeping it away from him. So much more comfortable playing the Kalista into this Jinx than some others might be, because talking to some AD carry mains in Challenger in the LCS, they'd say, oh yeah, I like to run Jinx into Kalista. But with the pressure that was just applied, with the team synergy that TLA has brought to the table, they've just made this early Kalista pick excel, and so far it hasn't been punished at all. Only 3 members of TLA dying. Dardoch only dying once, and 2 members still playing a perfect game at the moment.
It's the carries for Team Liquid. They have been doing so well that they're not even dying off on this one. I mean, Youngbin was like the hero of the story of game number 2 with this Victor pick, but he's just slowly getting bigger. We'll see if they can get bigger with Matt engaged, but that's not going to do anything with it.
Yeah, Face Call throws him straight into the Flame Chomper, so that's gonna be the end of that engage right there. But TL in a good spot where they could just rotate up to this top side of the map and maybe try to find Max, but actually Dardoch getting bound over the wall, maybe in a bad spot. Throws out the body slam here. Doom Trobo already used the Black Shield, so he's gonna get caught. Actually, no, he repels just in time for Cobra to get caught by that one. The Wild Growth comes out, but it doesn't even matter. He is just gonna get destroyed. Max Strobo gonna be the next one to go down as Zig finishes him off with the Darius. You can see the flares being thrown up. Dardoch's like, yeah, I've played this character once or twice, and it looks like TLA might just go straight for the Baron. Like I said, I'd like to say I did call this one. I said that we might see a very early Baron play, and there's not much earlier than 20.5 minutes, off by about 30 seconds.
Right, almost on spawn right there in TLA and have those 3 kills, almost getting a 4th one as well.
Oh, Vulcan gets grabbed. The Choppers comes down. He will go ahead and flash away. Youngbin gonna roam over this one, and he gets the death ray over the wall. Gravity Field comes down, and look at that damage onto Pose, who is just completely out of mana. Fabi shows up, will take him down. 2 kills off the backside of that Baron, and no one from Team Liquid Academy going down.
That's a Baron down at 21 minutes. A double kill going over there as well, going for it, Fabi and Youngbin, and a tier 2 turret to boot. Holy moly, TLA. What a game number 3 to close this one out. They're just ready to clinch this.
Yeah, I'd say that there's almost no way whatsoever that Academy can lose this game. I don't want to say that they're going to. I don't want to 100% say that they have this one for fear of losing any and all credibility that I might have garnered for myself. But I think it's very likely that they will net themselves a victory here, and 2-1 in this best of 3, 17-4, just a crushing performance, up over 10,000 gold. It's nearly 13K, and DZG Fire is just not even netted themselves a dragon. This is looking a bit like DZG Storm versus Zenith from last week on Tuesday, which was about a 20.5-minute victory without a surrender. So DZG looking a little bit like their sister team.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for DZG because Fire had a really big note. They have it's #1 ranked team in rank 5s right now. And Zig going to get caught.
Yeah, he gets under the wall. They actually could get this one. Oh, a beautiful flash just in time. That Q will not heal him over the wall, but Youngbin with that teleport up to the top side, of course, does find that kill over onto Pose. Meanwhile, this mid inhibitor tower is just getting knocked down by Fabi. The box comes down. The grab doesn't quite pull Doom Trobo in for that one. He does have to burn the repel and try to get out of this one, but Zig will finish him off with the teleport in. Now Cobra going to go down. Vulcan going to go down. It's a triple kill for the Darius. He says, where's Max? I want the Quadra, but Max is nowhere to be found. That's going to be a 23-minute inhibitor for Team Liquid Academy, and maybe just the game as they look to continue this aggression. Max nearly going down. Youngbin on the chase, throws up the Bangkok Titans player, but the death ray is long enough. It will take him down, and TLA will take down these Nexus towers. And the Nexus, they're going to go 2-1 over top of DZG Fire.
Dark trying to go for the last play, but it's not enough from there. DZG, unfortunate for this one. TLA, what a victory. What a way to clinch. GG.
Yeah, that was some nasty plays coming out from TLA in this last game, looking much more like themselves from the first one, and improving upon that even so. So really strong performance from these guys. Look forward to seeing them progress through this tournament. DZG, they have had some strong showings in some of their other games, just not able to capitalize on that victory and carry that momentum from the second game, it would seem here. So just going to have to try to bounce back, learn from this next game, and then come into next week even stronger to try to net themselves some more victories. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on these guys and see what they can bring to the table as this tournament progresses. Of course, next week's games will be on 5.22. So that is going to be a whole other animal, and who knows what's actually going to happen when it comes down to that, because the meta is just going to completely shift. Like right now, if you talk to a lot of people, I'm sure they would say it's really hard to carry from an AD carry position. It's all about the top lane and the mid lane, your jungle pressure. It's very little on AD carry. Fabi kind of proving that wrong in this game. But in next patch, it's going to be way easier to carry as an AD carry, especially if you get that Graves pick, because he looks like an absolute monster. So really looking forward to those games. But before I get too ahead of myself, we're not even done tonight. We have one more best of 3 coming up. And Bird, I believe you're staying on for the cast, if I am correct.
I think I am, and I think we're going to be joining with Piscator, Josh Piscator Lee, going to be adding into the cast. So it's going to be really fun. We're going to have Storm. We're going to have RMU. Don't call it a goodbye fest, but RMU Esports going to be coming in next.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see RMU, one of the latest additions to the tournament, coming in fairly last minute. So exciting to see what these guys can bring to the table on broadcast. But from myself and from Bird, for the moment, we're going to go to a quick little break as we get Josh Piscator Lee, if I could say his name correctly, loaded up and onto the cast. So I will be bowing out. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back with just a few minutes.